What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, y'all? I am your girl Candy, and I'm about to speak on it. So, you guys, this episode was pretty interesting. I want to talk about a few things that was in episode. Oh, let me start off with this dress, honey. This dress that they had in that pamphlet. I figured I'd show it off since it was making its appearance and making its rounds. Like I said, tags that we've been doing our thing for what? 14 years. It's safe to say we know what we're doing in the fashion store business. We're not designers, but we do stores.
Rodney Ho, Access Atlanta. I'm here with Candy Burris from Real Housewives of Atlanta at her opening of her new boutique tags.
Yeah, so my thing is I want people to be able to look good when they're going out, but not have to break their bank doing it. The whole thing for tags is high fashion for less, basically.
Okay.
You know, today we were doing something really great for my friend Monyetta Shaw. She has a new book called Keep It Classy, and I joined forces with her to promote her book. Friends are supposed to support friends, especially when they're doing business and they're trying to make things happen. Hey, what's up, y'all? I am your girl Candy. And today we decided to do a virtual tour hangout at our store, our new location of Tags Boutique. The reason why we do that instead of a party which we normally would do to support the grand opening of the store is because obviously we have to social distance and it's not really safe to just have like a full out party. So instead, I just opened it up for you guys to check it out online.
So my name is Peaches, and I am Candy's business partner at Tags Boutique. So since Tags has been around, we have been up to 4 locations at one time. And the reason why is because everybody want to get into a franchise or an affiliate program, not really understanding that you have to do the work. You just automatically assume that I open a store and you build it, they will come. But no, retail is very hard. You have to have a love and a passion for retail to make it work. Like, you just can't open a store and build it and everybody comes. No, it doesn't work like that.
Yes, I pulls out facts and receipts. Well, speak on it. That was one thing that I wanted to say. The other thing I wanted to say, and I think I'm just going to use a quote from one of my homegirls. She said that, because I saw where somebody was like, ooh, she mad, whatever, right? But what I'll use is a quote from one of my homegirls. Shout out to you, Nita. She said, when people show that they're paying attention to the bad, please believe they saw all the good that you've been doing, right? Because, honey, let's be clear. If there's a little pamphlet that you can put together on me about some business, please note, I can give you a book, which is what I'm going to do right now. Now, I'm not going to do a book as in give you like a whole bunch of, run off my accolades. But I do think it's important that I share with you guys what was going on during my season 15, because obviously you guys don't get to see everything, right? I really wanted to share that with you. Because one of the questions in the show is basically, oh, well, if you're so busy, then why don't you take a break? Da, 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 da. Well, I think a part of what makes me me is because I am busy. And a part of me being able to bring things to this show is me being who I am and working and doing all the things I like to do. With that being said, Bravo isn't able to catch everything that I'm doing because it is an ensemble cast, right? So I know some of y'all was like, well, why didn't they follow this or follow that? I can't say what makes them choose to follow certain things or what makes them not follow certain things. Sometimes it's probably budget because, some of the things I do may be in different cities. And yeah, that's expensive for a crew to have to be going with me everywhere I go. So I think part of it could be that. I don't really know. Let's tell you where I started out with during season 15. Obviously, I had a lot going on last year. I've said it again and again that I came into season 15 being stressed and highly irritable. Let's say that. For those who may or may not have watched the season of Escape and SWV.
Check that. Come on, take me there right there.
What we doing in here? What we doing? What we doing here?
It's crazy. Now, here's the thing. What is going on with Tasha? Where's she at?
I mean, as far as like my sister, we haven't talked since Vegas.
We filmed the finale of Escape and SWV like the second week of September. This filming of this show has been a shit show. That was when we had to go out of town. You all know, if you didn't know, you can always go back and catch it. I think it's still on Peacock, ain't it? Y'all can go back and see it. It was non-stop craziness.
Yep.
I don't hear myself in my ears.
Somebody get
No,
the
no, 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 no.
Tiny, can you check Tasha?
No, 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 no. Crazier than this show. Oh, I'm just giving them back what they've been giving me, so carry on. We wrapped that, and then I went into another performance with my group, Escape, but it was without Tasha. That was another thing. We had to get it together. We had to rehearse because obviously we already knew that it was going to be a lot of eyes on us if we could do it, if we could not do it without one of our group members. So the pressure was on. So I was having extra rehearsals, all kind of stuff going on, right? Then after we finished that performance, came back home, it was only like, maybe within a week of that, coming back towards the end of September is when the incident happened. The incident happened that everybody's so mad about, the word incident, that happened at my restaurant. So if you can only imagine how stressful something like that is, because that is so funny. Melvin texted me the other day, was it yesterday? The day before? Anyway, he was like, it's been a year since he was shot, and he just wanted to say, thank God he's alive, he's doing well, and he's, living and doing the things that he really wants to do in life. So much love to Melvin. But so right now, this time in real life, last year, somewhere around this time is when the incident happened. So I went into filming dealing with trying to figure out how is he going to be? Is he going to be okay? And I'm not sure if y'all really understand the closeness of Melvin and I. By blood, we're cousins. But I partially helped raise him. So he's also kind of like a son to me. So it's kind of like a weird family dynamic to where I feel like we're closer than cousins. So if you can imagine something like that happening at your business and to your family member, it was like a double whammy for me because my main thing was just trying to make sure he was good, make sure he was okay. Of course, going into it, the first week of filming Housewives, we already knew that they were going to want to capture some of that on this show. I had the conversation with Melvin on camera. We talked about it. I did not rush it. I hated the way they edited that back when they played the episode because they tried to be like, oh, she don't want to talk about it. No, I'm not going to rush him to talk about something that he was still currently dealing with. It was trauma involved. So, but we knew that we were going to talk about it. It was never a thought that we wouldn't discuss it or we wouldn't talk about it, to be clear. So yes, going into that first week, we started filming. In the midst of all of that, I was producing. Todd and I were producers on The Piano Lesson. Samuel L. Jackson, John David Washington, Danielle Brooks, all of them amazing. Trey Byers. Oh my God, everybody. Our show had not started yet on Broadway. I think we was just going into our soft opening performances at that time. So I was trying to make sure everything was good with that. Make sure everything's good with my businesses over here. Everything's good with my kids, dealing with the stuff with my group, making sure Melvin's okay. It was like a lot of different things happening at the same time. Were they getting all that? No, they were not getting what was happening with The Piano Lesson. I mean, sometimes they could probably feel like, oh, well, we just caught her doing Broadway stuff the year prior. We're not going to do that this year. So they pick and choose what they do and do not want to be a part of, okay? I'm not telling them, no, don't go back to New York with me as I follow my journey with trying to do this, my dream goal of getting the EGOT again. But they feel like they told that story already. I can't help it in my real life. It's still an ongoing journey. You picking and choosing what you want. So, okay, I'm just letting you know that. In my real life, we still capture everything that is important to me. We still got some of that footage. The very first week of filming for RHOA, the scene with Melvin was filmed, as well as Ross's birthday. So that was going to be our first all cast, right? I didn't know that it was going to pop off the way it did.
Stop bouncing in my face. You just bounced up at me.
How was I supposed to know that was going to happen with me and Courtney? Like, I didn't know that.
About to headbutt this bitch.
What I will say is I did go into that season like, I didn't give a fuck. Are you gonna try me? Because if you gonna try me, then we about to set this thing off. Like, no. Like, because when she kept doing like this, I was like, what is up with this bobblehead shit she doing? Well, I mean, it really ain't much else to say about the Courtney situation. Y'all already saw what happened. Courtney and I talked about it on this, in this here Speak On It.
But you were really looking at me with some really wicked faces, like when I first started that conversation.
You was a little hype.
I probably was.
You was a little hype.
I don't have to clout chase.
I never said you clout chase.
Oh, calm the down. But I'm glad we have moved beyond and that it was a misunderstanding.
You know, I just kind of feel like we didn't even really know each other like that. She came off a little strong and it popped off. And it stayed popped off for a while, for a few weeks. I was just really in a place where whoever wanted to smoke could get to smoke. Because mind you, I was still dealing with the drama of my group. Just because it stopped filming, it did not mean that it wasn't happening. It's just, I feel like I'm all over the place. And even though I've been talking to Todd about it, it's like sometimes I just be feeling so stressed out, like anxiety. Like realistically, I was talking to a friend of mine. I was like, I damn near feel like I need to start smoking weed or something. Like, I just been so high strung and really, like, sometimes be going back and forth. You know, when you're doing reality shows, going back and forth with folks. And it's just kind of like, like, I really need to chill out. The week after Courtney's situation, I had to go to New York. I had to do press because the play was about to have its opening. You know, so I was promoting that. It didn't happen. And I hated my makeup. My hair was messed up. Everything was horrible. And then, but I had 2 songs.
To listen to music during class, don't tell my teachers. So this way they won't be able to catch me.
People were still talking to me about the Escape SWV situation, even though it had not even aired yet. So those conversations when press was being talked about.
But this is special, Heather. Can you say why it's special?
It's special because we are always talking and saluting and giving her flowers. We know that she don't always get to hear that because she's busy. She's working. She's a mom. She's a wife. She's a businesswoman. She's a creator. She's a writer. She's a producer. She's an executive producer. She's a girlfriend. She's a friend. She's a cousin. She's all the things. And she is here.
It was some back-to-back stuff happening in October. Right. So we went from the big red carpet grand opening of the piano lesson to then we had to go do BravoCon. All of which was in New York. So I was like, back-to-back stuff in New York. It seemed like they could have had a camera crew for that. You know what I mean? Because it was at the same time. And you had a lot of Bravo celebrities out there. But hey, once again, I don't get to decide what they choose to tape. But yeah, I was in New York. I had to be. My play was about to open. This girl from East Point, Atlanta, Georgia, you know what I'm saying? You know, straight off Cascade. If you got to play with Samuel Jackson, okay, and Danielle Brooks and John David Washington, and you know it's about to open, you gonna be there and you gonna do what you gotta do to make sure everything is rolling out the way it's supposed to. I brought my friends from the A. We right on Broadway, you know what I'm saying? What? You know, that's how I felt last night. I'm just saying. Nah, y'all can't blame me for that. But that's some real story, okay? I am a producer of a show.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. What's going on? How you doing? Good. Very good.
How's it going?
All good.
And not just me, but me and my husband are producers of a Broadway show where we have A-list talent and A-list people coming to our red carpet and the after party to just mix and mingle. It's just like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? I was like, it's just, I don't know, it was a blessing. It was a blessing that I cannot describe. It was just like a little bit of joy just running through the inside of me. Oh my God. So had the biggest opening of my life for a Broadway production. Every A-lister that I could think of came. Some of even my RHOA sisters came. So Kenya came, Eva came. They came to support me, which was awesome. That was in New York. Would have been nice if y'all could have seen that as a part of the show. but I don't know what to tell you. Right after that, BravoCon happens.
People say that going on a reality show is detrimental to a relationship, but clearly you're all doing really well here.
Well, I mean, of course we pull out a little bedroom candy. BravoCon happens, and then I had the big drama with my mama and Todd.
Mama Joy, say 3 nice things about Todd.
Which started months-long turmoil within my family. Can I just say that?
How do you guys stay such good friends, knowing that you might be friends with people that might not like your bestie?
That is kind of crazy. I mean, I don't know. Why do people try to always pit us against each other?
I don't know. Like, they always try to make an issue.
I did a panel. Well, I did a couple of panels, but with my castmates from RHOA, I did one panel.
I was just wondering if it changed the dynamic of the group with having finally get her peach this year.
Are you asking our opinion or her opinion? Well, they did their regular little want to be starting something. Want to have their little drama, their little shade. I was like, the stuff they had to say, I was just kind of, whatever. After that, I did my Halloween photo shoots. You know how we do. We do it big for Halloween every year. So we did our Halloween photo shoots. That's when I did cotton candy. That's family time. So, I had to make that work. And then we had a lot of stuff going on with Escape again because Escape was nominated, or not nominated, we were honored with the Lady of Soul Award at the Soul Train Awards.
The ladies of Escape are taking home the Lady of Soul Award.
This is that excellence right here. This is what it looks like.
This is the foundation of social death right here.
Oh my God, I forgot about that. Oh. So y'all, this is another thing that happened. I totally forgot about this. So because our group Escape was getting the Queen of Soul Award, all 4 of us had to come back together to do an interview that they could cut up or put together to promote the Soul Train Awards. This was our first time being together since we had wrapped filming of the Escape in SWV show. As you can imagine, it wasn't so great. Okay, me, Tiny, and Tamika were good, but Tasha wasn't really good with us.
Yeah. What's up? With these 3, and maybe just go over questions with them.
Ready?
Let's give it together.
I'll try.
Stop being selfish.
Although she was still trying to put on a happy face. To the point where the initial commercial that they had dropped, we had said, it was like, hey, I'm Candy. Hey, I'm Tiny. Hey, I'm Tamika. And she says, hey, I'm Tasha. And we said, we're Escape. But when we said we're Escape, she wasn't saying nothing. It was just the 3 of us.
Ooh, y'all went there.
What?
So they literally, you remember that? The people literally had to go back and recut the commercial so that you don't see us when we say the part, we're Escape. They just cut away to something else. But that was like all the little petty BS that we were dealing with. So the next day after the little debacle with my group, it always takes a day to decompress from Escape drama. So anyway, the next day I had to go to Drew's performance with Candace.
Working on my mind and my body. I'm dripping all this finest chocolate.
Look at my girl. Baby. I am nervous, but I am here.
Right? Well, it was Candace's performance featuring Drew. So I went there, but I already knew it was going to be mess, right? Me and Courtney still we wasn't getting along. Right. So I already knew I wasn't feeling her. And then the other one, I had already heard this little narrative that she was trying to put out there. So let's just move on from there. We go to the performance. We go to the back room to, wait on Candace and Drew to congratulate them for their performance. And of course, the BS starts. There you have it. It was the BS. Y'all know what happened. At the end of the day, it was what was being said or the narrative that was being pushed that day when I started going back and forth because, they were mad that Drew said incident. I already knew I had already filmed a scene about it and talked about it, right? With Melvin, who situation actually happened to. And so,
well, she don't want to talk about her stuff, then I don't want to talk either.
Whatever. And I'm like, but I talk about my stuff. I'm just not talking about it to her. And that was how I was feeling at the time. I don't have to, y'all can't force me to talk about it with somebody that doesn't mean me no good. And so that's where I was at that time. And so, yes, I definitely kind of cut deep when I hit her with the, okay, well, if you want to talk about this, then let's talk about the terrible thing that she did. So because my thing was, I get tired of people always want to like feel like they can try me on the show or they can, approach me and I'm just going to let things slide. Nah. I wanted all the smoke this year. Yeah, nobody on this show makes me work. So all that narratives they put out there, oh, we had to make her work. No, you never make me work. Every year I'm always sharing my life. I'm always sharing what I got going on. I'm always sharing. I've been having I've had lots of ups and downs on this show. So nobody on here makes me share anything. There's actually been things that we've shared that the show has taken out because they felt, like maybe it was too much or whatever. So to be clear, I share a lot. So anyway. Yeah, but she was saying something about you and a rent-a-man or something.
Girl, is she really... That is so tired and old. Like, really, you got to go back 7-8 years for that joke? That was season 1 for me. Yeah. You're going back 11 years. And I'm still fabulous.
Right, and then she hit me with the...
And everybody, by the way, is saying that Martell and she are using each other for publicity. So who's renting who? Who's renting who?
Well, who gonna rent me, boo?
Right, who gonna rent me, boo?
Okay, so guys, there were quite a few escape performances that had been booked. Now, they had been booked prior to our season starting. To be clear, obviously the promoter has to promote them. My agent told me that he had already cleared it with them. They already knew about the shows, whatever. I mean, it wasn't my fault that they was planning stuff at the same time as the shows that was already booked. Not to say that I couldn't, like you would say, okay, well, you knew you were going to be filming. I get that. But if a reality show is supposed to show my reality and my real life, you know that I'm in this group. You just finished doing a whole show about the group. So it's like, so what am I supposed to do? Not do the performances? One of the performances was a makeup performance from a show that our group had missed the year prior, which was part of the drama between our group. You got to think about it. When our group has this little drama, this beef, first of all, at first, certain people were saying, oh, they can't do no show without Tasha. They can't do no show without Tasha or whatever, right?
We got a show tomorrow, guys. Lighten it up and have a great time. You're gonna have great energy. Great energy. You're gonna have great energy.
Of course, I'm like, okay, we're going to do it just to show you, yes, we can do it. Secondly, then it's like, well, Kandi ain't going to be there for y'all, and all this other kind of stuff. So my thing is, like, I can't leave my group members hanging, meaning Tamika and Tiny. I can't leave them hanging. Like, I can't back out on them something that I had committed to, because first of all, I'm not really one of those type of people. I show up for people, you know what I mean? And yes, I am a part of this show, but like I said, we had already booked these shows before the filming had started. So it's just kind of like, I wasn't going to leave my group members hanging. Simple as that, period. We had shows to do.
You all have been doing this for a very long time. And might I add, the right way.
The Lady of Soul Awards happened, y'all. The Lady of Soul Awards happened, and it was a big mess. We went viral from the negativity. Before we even went on stage, we went viral just because simply the picture that was posted of us earlier that day, you could tell one of these kids is doing their own thing. I feel the same way. I feel blessed. I'm so excited to be here. Okay. But yeah, instead of it just being like, oh, okay, she just chose to dress differently, all of a sudden it was a narrative put out there that I or my group members, that we purposely tried to make Tasha look bad for wearing something different. Sometimes I own things that I if I said something crazy to somebody or something like that. But sometimes, like, really, the public really be bashing me and dragging me on things that I had nothing to do with and that are beyond my control. I don't even deal with the wardrobe part for my group, okay, to be clear.
Soul Train Awards presents the Lady of Soul right here. The Ladies of Soul right here. I love y'all.
That ain't had nothing to do with me, but I was getting dragged like nobody's business in the press because, you know, people who just don't like me, because I know there are those of you who just don't like me, but like, oh, she's evil. You know she did that on purpose to make that girl look bad. And I was like, oh my God, like, how? Like, I end up in drama even when I'm not even trying to. So it was a lot of stuff that was going on. I was getting dragged about all the stuff with my group online. The stuff with my mama was like a mess with the drama from the aftermath of BravoCon. Then it was still trying to put together performances that we had coming up for the group. Ty had his movie that he had. It was already finished, you guys, but we were about to start casting and setting up everything to try to film at the top of the year for the past. Well, now you guys see the past, but yeah, we were trying to put all that together. And, you know, I was going through the whole thing with him of, oh, you don't put the same effort, you don't support me, you know, la 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 la. So I was just getting it from every end. Then the girls, Kenya had her secret performance that she was trying to do that everybody did not get a chance to see. But Kenya had this thing that she had set up for Alabama. It was her commercial, but she was being able to perform at the game. And none of us knew that she was actually performing. She was using that having that as a surprise. But I knew I couldn't go out to Alabama. The reason being, the Alabama trip was a Friday and Saturday. I had to be in LA for the Ebony Power 100 dinner. So the Ebony Power 100 is basically Ebony magazine. They have this list of power players in every area of business or whatever. It's the top 100 people that make the list. Now, mind you, this is my first time making it on that list, and that is a very prized list to be on, right? So I wasn't missing it. Would y'all want to miss an honor like that? I don't know. Like, I love Kenya. That's my girl, but I didn't even know she had planned for everybody. So I was like, I love you, girl, but I got to go. Now, I had already told production what I had to do, but then somehow they was like, well, why didn't you come after the fact? They was like, why you didn't come on Friday? You could have come on Friday. You stayed in Atlanta so you could speak on it. And I was like, I didn't stay in Atlanta so I could speak on it. That is not why I did not go on Friday. When we told them I had to be there on that Saturday. And whoever it was, I can't remember who it was I spoke with. They were like, oh, well, yeah, you ain't going to be able to make it because they leave it on Friday. And they were supposed to stay out there. It never even was presented to me that I could go for one day and come back. That was never presented to me. So maybe it was a miscommunication on my point. Yeah, obviously Sanya, you know, they must have told her either she came up with it on her own to go on that Friday and then, you know, come back to Atlanta. But see, she came back to Atlanta because she could drive back to Atlanta on that Saturday to make her event. But see, I had to be somewhere that's a 4-hour flight, 4.5-hour flight. It ain't the same as just driving back to Atlanta for a couple hours and then going back. I've done that before for the show. So, yeah. And here's why I didn't make the Drew video. The day Drew made her music video, now I told her that I was going to try to see if I could stop by for an hour. But I was really just waiting to see what time I had to go to set because I filmed a movie with Snoop Dogg. It has not come out yet. Good morning. Yes, I look tired, Charlie. I look tired. I am on the set. Today isn't really that early of a call, but I did finish late well, not too late, but kind of late last night. Yeah, I was in a movie with Snoop Dogg, and we were shooting for a whole week that same week or whatever. And that day I had to go to set. So, you know, obviously housewives don't never start on time. So it was really like, okay, by the time I get out there to y'all, I was going to have to turn right back around. So no, I did not make it to her video. It's not because I didn't want to support her. I had work to do. Mind you, I was doing that movie here in Atlanta. I don't think they said that. I don't think on that particular situation I wasn't allowed to have a camera crew on set doing Housewives, because I think they did contemplate maybe catching me on set. But yeah, that's what I was doing, y'all. So I had a full week of shooting with the movie, and then I had, rehearsals with my group Escape, but then I had to go to Courtney's event.
Go, crazy ass trick, go.
I was running on empty, honey. I was not sleeping. I was burning the candle at both ends. Oh, no. This is when I heard the stuff that because I thought that I already knew it back then at the Drew's performance, but I didn't know exactly what Mumbles had said then. I had found out right, like either right before I went to the Courtney event or the day before, something like that. So, no, it was the same day because I was 38 hot when I got there. I was already not feeling it when I got to Courtney's event. So I'm one of those type of people, if something is sitting on my chest, if I don't get it out, you can see it all over my face. So that's why, it popped off early on that day. On Courtney's event, and it went bad.
The reason why I'm crying right now is because I can't choke your ass, bitch.
Courtney and I, kind of got in a better place then, because Courtney did try to go outside to see if I was okay, that type of thing, which she didn't have to do that. So I was just kind of like, I guess this is an olive branch, and I was like, all right, cool, we can move on with her. But the other one, I wasn't trying to move on with her no more. We had been there, done that, up and down, back and forth, and I'm done with it. So that's why I was like, yeah, no more conversation. I'm over it with her. After that event, clearly it went ape shit. Bedroom Candy Convention, which comes every year, but now we did it back in person. Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm your girl Candy, and this is some of my ladies from the Bedroom Candy family. It's just been go, nonstop, like seriously. Yeah, it was a lot going on. All the traveling, doing Amazon Lives, trying to figure out the movie, doing the stuff with, it was a lot. The list was long, okay? And it was Team No Sleep during that time or whatever. And then arguing with these girls, I was like, why am I letting them get under my skin? I didn't understand how I was doing that. Like, I knew I was like, okay, I'm not going to let stuff slide, but it really was getting to be a bit much, because it just felt like negative. It felt like every time I turned around, I was arguing with somebody, whether it was, with my group situation or the stuff with the Housewives, being dragged online about my group stuff, because I don't know if y'all remember at the time, it was just nonstop. So yeah, it was like, I was like, every time I turn around, I'm in the blogs, and it ain't necessarily nothing good, and I don't like that. It was like bad, you know what I'm saying?
Morning.
You need a hand with it?
Yeah. Good morning.
Hot as shit. I thought it was gonna be cool a little bit, and then when I look at the forecast, I was like, oh my god, it's about to be one of them days. Child, I didn't leave the studio to 6 this morning. I am running on fumes. My first interview day for the new Escape and SWV show. They wanted more of a look that I would wear for performance. So this ain't nothing I would ever do for Housewives, of course. This is way different than Real Housewives. Yeah, I forgot. Even though I was filming Housewives, I was still doing the pickup interviews for Escape during that time as well. So mind you, when I'm off, on my off days, they would gladly add a little taping in so that I could go over the Escape drama all over again for that show. So yeah, it was a lot going on. Then I don't really understand how I was shading your business.
On her website did not crash, which it absolutely did crash. We can show you. Absolutely.
I don't really agree with that though. And I honestly was not trying to be negative or drag her or go back and forth. But, I'm an honest person. And I can't help it. If you say something that don't make sense to me, then I'm going to say it. So I felt like overall that conversation, it got a little shady. Yeah, with the stuff from She by Shein and the stuff that...
no, She by Shein. She's not by Shein.
At least we were able to get it out, I guess. And I didn't tell her no lies. People, you know, play those clips over and over again with she by she in and all of that. I think to this day, she's still upset about that. That's why she tried to compare my story to she. She's still mad about that conversation, child. And then we went out of town for Escape again, going into December.
Hold on. Right. You can't rap two different cities. I mean, I don't even care what city you from. I want to take them back to where it all started.
Then we had the trip. I don't know what was happening in Atlanta at the time, but everybody was catching this like 24-hour virus thing that had everybody having the bubble gut. So I was fine when I did the concert. Thank God, because it would have been more horrible to have to hit the stage with that happening. But the next morning when I had to get to leave to go to Portugal, I was falling apart. Okay, but then I thank God I made it to Portugal. I thought I wasn't gonna make it. I was that sick. It had hit me. It was like that 24-hour virus that a lot of people was getting, and I was throwing up and coming out the back on the plane the entire trip. Get to Portugal, try to pull it all together. Situation happened with Kenya falling. End up having to just go straight to the hospital. Now, mind you, I knew I was not gonna be able to stay for the whole trip because I knew I had concerts the next weekend, right? So we left on a Monday. I knew I was gonna have to leave them on like Thursday, because my show was Friday. When I tell y'all, in that little bit of time that I was in Portugal, it was like I lit a match and then left.
I wrote down, Sheree's looking like a hypocrite with the way she is acting in the Drew situation.
Ooh, why?
Because I felt like if you are someone who does not like it when your friends talk about things potentially negative about you in the press, then why are you doing this? Why are you being the person who's bringing this up on camera to Drew?
Like, I literally came there, did what we did, had the argument off camera with Drew, which I didn't think nothing of that because we was off camera. And then I left. They ran with their narratives after I left, which I still get annoyed with how y'all be trying to say, a Kandi just dragging it. I wasn't even there to even do no scenes about it the day after Drew and I had the argument. So y'all be dragging it. Okay, y'all be dragging it. Because after we had the argument, I was out of there. I came back to the States. I had concerts with my group Escape. Oh my God. And then I came while at a concert. I had a big falling out with somebody else. It was worse. Like I was cussing out everybody over the course of them months. So that's why coming out of that week, came home, did the cussing out. Thought I was done with it. We ain't talk about it no more. In the midst of all the drama that I was going through at the end of the year, filming with Cynthia was the best, honey. Let me just say that, because it wasn't a lot of drama. She's just always a breath of fresh air. I said breast. Maybe it's because she always be showing her breast on the show. No, I'm just kidding. It was a breath of fresh air. Like, I love filming with Cynthia. You know, we get along well. You know, it's always chill, like natural, because it ain't forced. I really enjoy sitting talking with her. So that was good. I'm glad that they had Cynthia come back during that time. Unfortunately, for right after I filmed the Peach Party, and it was an amazing night, amazing day. Then the next day I went on the road again, and another person came with the bullshit. And I was going through all this stuff, y'all, and you know, I don't really be wanting to speak on everything. Like, I'll speak on the stuff that's like public, but sometimes you have to just let lying folks lie, you know what I mean? And just move on with your life and just let people give whatever narratives they want to give. Now, with that being said, when I'm on Housewives, it's different, right? Because everything we're doing is in front of the camera. Like, we're, you know, so it's just like when people challenge my integrity and stuff like that, it's a little bit more meaningful to me, because I'm like, not on this platform in front of the world you finna act like I'm a liar or I'm making up stuff. So I take it a little bit differently and feel like I have to address things and stuff like that, because I know y'all are watching.
Kandi, did it upset you when you watched Drew claim that you made up the LaToya kissing story to promote your movie?
golf course. Clearly, what I was saying was true. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to force that or put that on nobody. You know what I mean? But if that's just something naturally that you've done, or let's just say, I give it to her. I give it to her to say, maybe I was tipsy, just don't remember. Whatever you want to say, I don't care, but just don't say I'm lying. Yeah. And that's just how I feel about it. Like, I don't feel the need to keep going back and forth about it. We already went back and forth. You know, Drew coming on this show talking about I'm a liar, candy coated liar. That did not sit with me well at all, honey. Not well at all. Because I'm like, okay, we're not friends.
I just want to make sure we're good.
And that's the other thing. I hate when people are like, Candy's not a friend. Okay, let's be clear. I got plenty of friends, plenty of real friends. Y'all see me post them all the time. The ladies on our show, not all of them are considered my friend. Now, some people, hell, I just really got to know Drew in the last year or two. So for y'all to be sitting up here saying because I argued with her, and mind you, I didn't run back with the narrative of what happened in the argument. They did, because I wasn't there. So literally, while they were still in Portugal, they were running with the story about what happened in the argument between me and Drew. Drew said whatever she said to saying I made up the story to promote a movie. All that stuff was said before they even came back to me to film, y'all. Oh, it's just kind of like, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? You want me to just be like, go along with it? No. I'm not finna let nobody make me look like I'm gonna make up stories about them. Yes, I pulls out facts and receipts because that's just what I do. I have to back up my proof. And so for those of you that said, oh, she was just doing too much. No, they were dragging my name and my integrity, and I'm not doing it.
I was given some information that was dropped off to my house a couple days ago.
To the chateau.
At the reunion, let me say this irritated me. I felt that it seemed like it was a little one-sidedness going on with the edict, meaning clearly, obviously, the pamphlet was brought out as shade against me, which it is what it is, you know. On the show, on the reunions, people do shade or whatever. The shade against Drew was the text messages. It was allegedly, because I don't want nobody mad at me.
These are private messages that are between Ty and, I'm assuming, Drew.
To be clear, they did not.
Was there a full discussion had while you guys were looking at?
Yes, we literally read sections of the text messages. You select the reading.
I was just trying to find something incriminating.
So the only thing they let y'all see about the text, they showed you Andy looking at the text and saying, oh, these are a little incriminating.
No, they are. They're very incriminating.
They're very friendly. We're friends.
And that's all he said. And they passed them down to us. We made a couple faces, and that was it.
My DMs are popping. I didn't see that part.
Me, you texting like that? But in real life, we read some of those text messages out loud.
I have...
Incriminating is not the word.
Are there any naked pictures in there or kitty cat?
What you would say those text messages were. I just kind of felt like I didn't understand how they let y'all know that there were text messages and that it looked like it could be incriminating, but they didn't really spend too much time on it. Now, mind you, that's a big deal and for what all has been going on in the blogosphere or whatever. But that little shade she threw at me, y'all want to spend all its time on it the first reunion episode. To be honest with you.
She made a whole website. She made a whole website.
Oh, that's recent. Which I'm going to need you to take my pictures down. Because if you finna be trying to make money, you better don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. Get sued. Trying to sell my pictures. You better find you some different pictures to use. I know that. Yeah, like, how you going to put my family pictures on your website where you selling subscriptions? Should I sue you? Even Bravo didn't show my pictures. No, you might want to pull my pictures down. Get sued. Y'all know they show extended versions on Peacock, right? So maybe they're going to add some more to the Peacock version. But I just kind of felt like, this is a little weird because y'all really letting her off light. Because y'all definitely didn't let me off light in this reunion. I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping.
They didn't let Monyetta off light either.
Yeah, they let that part off light too. I mean, the part with the Monyetta and the collusion. I think Monyetta dropped the footage, did she? Y'all can go to Monyetta's page and see her video, the actual video of what happened that night. I know some of y'all gonna be like, you're such a hater. Why you mad because they didn't show the negative stuff about Drew? I'm not saying that I'm mad because they didn't show negative stuff about Drew. I'm just saying that if this is the show and y'all trying to, let's even this on out, honey. So anyway, needless to say, in sidebar, no, I was not gonna be going back and forth with Sonya about her. As I kept saying, I said, oh, that sounds so country. Me and you, we not finna be arguing about her. I kept saying, I said, why I say her? Anyway, but yeah, because I just was like, the whole season, every time I have a conversation with Sonya, she wanted to debate for the other person. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that with you no more. Yeah, you're not finna be jumping in this conversation about somebody else. Like, I'm not doing that with you. They asked the question, why don't you just take a break? I want you to ask yourself this. Let's say that I had taken a break, right? If I had taken a break, the stuff that happened in the very first episode at Sonya's party wouldn't have happened. The drama with Courtney, that wouldn't have happened. Drama that happened after Drew's performance, when we had the back and forth about the incident coming, that wouldn't have happened. If I wouldn't have been there, right? You wouldn't even have all the drama with me and she who would not be named right now. If I wouldn't have been there, you wouldn't have had multiple events with the Peach event. And you definitely wouldn't have had the finale, which was the movie and all that stuff. And all the stuff that happened because of the movie. And you wouldn't have had, and the stuff that happened in Portugal, you wouldn't have had none of that. So, yeah, I missed a lot of days actual filming. But as far as story is concerned, I'm all up and through there. Okay? Yeah, pretty much. No disrespect to anybody else, because I'm not saying that y'all don't have a story. I'm just saying they didn't show a lot of stuff. But what I am saying is stop trying to play me like I ain't really adding to this, okay?
And it's reality TV, and that's why I'm like, they have so much that Courtney says is missing. Every girl has gone into an interview. Mayetta, Sanya, everybody has said they have filmed a scene that is missing. Do you think some of these missing scenes would help how some of these viewers look at these people?
You know, I don't know. I feel like you never know what they want to see when they're tying the stories in together. So, like, I don't really have anything negative to say about, because I feel like everybody going in on the producers this year. So I don't really like to go in on production or anything. I'm just saying everything on everybody can't be seen, right? You got to figure out what works with the story and what doesn't. So even if something is interesting with a person, like the way I used me working on the piano lesson as an example, that was very interesting. It had some very interesting people involved. But they had already followed me doing Broadway before. So I don't think it necessarily flowed in what they wanted to see from me this year. Even though, yeah, you would have got some interesting stuff. It is what it is. As far as with the escape stuff, I have no clue why they didn't want to continue following some of that, especially because we had just finished filming and they already knew that show was going to be crazy.
Well, you were trying to piggyback off of Kandi and the gang. The escape was going hard. I get Melvin was there, but it's like you had two shows that they could have piggybacked off of the price of one.
True that. I don't know, guys. Anyway, this season has definitely had a lot of ups and downs. And as far as what I got to say, this is what I got to say, though. I'm bringing the dungeon back. The dungeon. We're having a big dungeon party October 21st here in Atlanta. The tickets will go on sale this week. We're going to do a pre-sale. I think the pre-sale starts on Tuesday. But basically, if you missed the dungeon party the last time, believe me, you ain't going to want to miss it this time. And if you already went to a dungeon party, then you know you need to go again. I'm not going to announce my guest performers yet, but there will be guest performers like there was before. And it's going to be lit. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be wild, and it's going to be fun. Make sure you get your tickets. And I am finally dropping the song Only For You. A lot of people ask me why I haven't put the song out, so I'm putting the song out. I think I'm going to put the pre-listen link or the pre-download link out this week so that you can go ahead and pre-download it ahead of time. Anyway, yeah, I got so many great things ahead. Stay tuned. Keep following me. And that's it for season 15. Finally. We got to find some other people to interview. We have a lineup. Yeah, we have a lineup. Anyway, thank you for watching. Speak on it.
Great job, everyone. Thank you. We are going to switch up on the guys. We can fly out.